Most people think the way to deal with garden pests is to buy a spray, read the label, and hope for the best. It is what the gardening industry has trained us to do for the last 70 years. We've adopted a chemical-first mindset, treating our plants as passive victims that constantly need rescuing from a plastic bottle. Before garden centers and synthetic pesticides, traditional growers across Asia, Europe, and the Americas kept pests away without a single synthetic chemical. They relied on biology. Certain plants produce compounds so powerful, specifically designed by evolution to repel, confuse, and trap insects with devastating precision. Today, peer-reviewed studies are proving the molecular reality of these ancient farming habits. The lab results confirm what farmers already knew. These companion plants act as highly effective biological infrastructure. The first defensive strategy these plants deploy is active chemical warfare. Instead of sitting idly, they continuously release volatile compounds into the surrounding air. Take basil. Pests like thrips and tomato hornworms use smell to locate host plants. Basil defends by releasing astragalose, a volatile oil that actively scrambles scent signals, blinding the insects. Lemongrass targets the spider mite life cycle. It produces citral, an essential oil that physically breaks the loop of reproduction, halting the infestation before it spreads. A 2016 study published in Industrial Crops and Products exposed spider mites to lemongrass oil in a lab setting. The result was a 90%. When positioned correctly, these aromatic plants generate a localized, invisible force field. They transition from simple kitchen ingredients into active agents of biological defense. Some plants push this defense even further by fighting on two physical fronts simultaneously. The most documented example of this multi-axis warfare is the French marigold. Above ground, the marigold emits volatile sulfur oils from its flowers, creating a deterrent zone that repels flying pests before they can land. Below ground, marigold roots secrete alpha-terphenol. When this toxic compound enters the soil, it dissolves root-destroying nematodes before they attack your tomatoes. The historical tradition of packing marigolds around vulnerable crops was never for decoration. It is a measurable, scientifically validated method for establishing a two-front biological perimeter. But defense isn't always about pushing insects away. Sometimes it is about pulling them exactly where you want them. Gardeners use plants like nasturtiums specifically to be sacrificed. Nasturtiums are absolute aphid magnets. They draw pests completely away from your valuable brassicas. The aphids swarm the nasturtium, leaving your broccoli untouched. Then there is the banker plant strategy. Plants like stinging nettle and lavender are cultivated specifically to attract beneficial, predatory insects. Take stinging nettles. Early in the season, they harbor small, completely harmless aphid colonies. These tiny colonies act as a food reservoir, giving predatory insects a place to feed and breed a massive standing army, like ladybirds and parasitic wasps. Data shows that gardens with established nettle patches within 10 meters of vegetable beds maintain aphid predator populations 80% higher than gardens without them. By deploying trap crops and banker plants, you stop trying to micromanage every pest. Instead, you transform a vulnerable, static garden into a thriving, self-regulating ecosystem equipped with its own active immune system. The most resilient gardens you will ever see are not the ones soaked in synthetic chemicals. They are the ones thoughtfully planted with biological defenses in mind. By planting basil, marigolds, or lavender, you tap into millions of years of evolutionary chemical R&D that nature perfected long before we built laboratories. Modern science didn't discover these solutions. It simply provided the data to confirm the habits of early indigenous growers, local village farmers, and grandmothers passing down their seeds. To replicate their success, we have to stop treating companion plants as decorative afterthoughts and start positioning them as vital, active biological technology. Nature solved the pest problem thousands of years ago. Our only job is to stop buying products and start planting the solution.